The disciples gathered under the Bodhi tree, their faces shadowed with doubt and feelings of inadequacy clouding their minds. The Buddha looked upon them with compassion, sensing their inner turmoil like ripples upon a still pond's surface. He pointed towards the nearby lotus pond, where vibrant flowers emerged from murky waters. "Do you see these lotuses?" he asked, his voice calm and serene like a gentle stream. "They bloom beautifully, yet they grow in mud. The mud nourishes them. It is their foundation," the Buddha explained. One disciple spoke hesitantly. "Master, are we like the mud-covered lotuses? I feel weighed down by my imperfections." The Buddha smiled softly and said, "Your imperfections do not define you. They are the soil for growth. Just as the lotus does not reject the mud, you must embrace the challenges that shape you," he advised. The disciples listened attentively, their hearts yearning to understand the wisdom in the Buddha's words. "Often, you think you must rid yourselves of flaws to be worthy. But that is not the way," the Buddha added. "You are whole as you are, with your virtues and flaws intertwined like roots and blossoms," he continued. "True compassion begins within, through acceptance of the self and its intricate design," the Buddha proclaimed. One disciple asked, "Master, how can we nurture ourselves without judgment? How do we silence self-criticism that overshadows our worth?" The Buddha gestured toward the lotus again. "It does not question its beauty, nor does it compete with other flowers. It grows with patience and unfolds naturally, trusting its path despite the mud that clings," he said. "So too must you trust yourselves, the process of becoming, and the inherent worth within," he explained. A quiet ripple of understanding began to move through the group as they reflected upon the lotus's silent strength. The Buddha shared, "When self-doubt arises, remind yourself of the lotus that thrives despite its origins. Focus not on perfection, but on the love and compassion you can give to yourself and others," he said. The practice of self-compassion is a sacred act, rooted in forgiveness and acceptance, the Buddha emphasized. The mud may feel heavy, but it is never a burden. It is the foundation for growth, he reminded. Struggles transform into wisdom and strength, just as the mud transforms into nourishment, he affirmed. The Buddha paused, allowing his words to settle into the minds and hearts of his disciples. One disciple exclaimed, "Master, your teachings are profound, yet applying them seems difficult in moments of despair." The Buddha looked at him and replied, "In despair, remember that stillness offers clarity. Look within and discover your inner strength. Like the lotus, you possess resilience. Trust in your ability to rise above challenges and bloom," he reassured. He continued, "Self-compassion is not indulgence. It is recognizing your humanity and offering kindness to yourself and others. It is the bridge between acceptance and transformation, leading you closer to the truth of your inner worth," he explained. The disciples grew silent, their thoughts absorbed in the Buddha's gentle wisdom and the symbolism of the lotus. The Buddha concluded, "When you doubt yourself, see the lotus and recall this truth: you are enough as you are. As you nurture compassion within, you begin to bloom in ways you never imagined possible," he said. His words echoed like a mantra, planting seeds of self-compassion deep within their hearts and minds. The disciples bowed deeply, their spirits lighter, and their hearts resonating with the Buddha's message. And so, the lotus became a lasting symbol of self-compassion and inner worth among them. Another day, the disciples gathered once more, seeking solace in the Buddha's teachings as they faced their inner struggles. The sun cast a warm glow over the gathering, yet shadows of self-doubt lingered in their hearts and minds. Ananda, one of the most devoted disciples, approached the Buddha with tears glistening in his eyes. "Master," Ananda began, his voice trembling, "I feel unworthy. My flaws are overwhelming, and I cannot silence my inner critic. The Buddha gazed at him with compassion, his eyes like calm pools reflecting profound understanding of human suffering. Ananda, the Buddha, said gently, "Let us walk to the stream together. There, I will show you something important." The disciples followed as the Buddha and Ananda made their way to the clear, flowing stream nearby. The Buddha reached into his robe and retrieved a small, simple mirror, which he held up to the sunlight. "Look into this mirror," Ananda, the Buddha instructed, holding it so the surface reflected his disciple's face. Ananda hesitated for a moment, then peered into the mirror, seeing his own reflection staring back at him. "Tell me," Ananda, the Buddha asked, "what do you see in this mirror? Describe your reflection to me." One day, in the bustling marketplace, Vajraya faced his fiercest rival, a man named Balraya. Sharp-tongued and volatile, Balraya hurled accusations, taunts, and insults, his voice rising above the crowd, seeking to provoke Vajraya into an exchange. Ananda blinked, taken aback by the question, and then nodded hesitantly. "Yes, Master, I do see my virtues as well." The Buddha smiled, his expression radiating both wisdom and kindness. "This mirror reflects the entirety of who you are. Self-compassion," Ananda, the Buddha continued, "is the practice of embracing your reflection, flaws and virtues alike. It is not about denying your imperfections, but about acknowledging the goodness that coexists with them," he explained. As Vajraya reflected upon his victory, he understood silence as an ally, a weapon of harmony against chaos. The Buddha paused, his disciples listening intently, their hearts opening to the lesson as the story settled within them. The silent victory is the stronger one, for silence speaks volumes when wielded by the calm, steady mind, he taught. Through silence, anger finds no fuel to burn, and peace flows freely as rivers coursing towards oceans. Practice silence daily, for it not only shields you from discord but nurtures clarity, understanding, and unshakable resilience. The disciples bowed to the Buddha, gratitude shining in their eyes, their minds steadied by his profound teachings. "Master," Ananda said softly, "your words have touched my heart. Yet self-compassion feels elusive in moments of despair." The Buddha reached out, placing a hand on Ananda's shoulder with a gesture of reassurance and profound connection. "In despair, Ananda," the Buddha said, "return to the mirror. Remind yourself of your humanity and the balance within. Compassion begins with forgiveness, for yourself and the burdens you carry. That forgiveness becomes a pathway to inner peace," he explained. "The mirror is not your enemy. It is a reminder of your wholeness, a guide to self-acceptance," the Buddha said. The stream's gentle murmurs seemed to echo the Buddha's teachings, carrying his wisdom on its flowing waters. One disciple asked, "Master, how can we resist the overwhelming pull of negativity and the harsh judgments of our inner critics?" The Buddha smiled and replied, "Negativity feeds on your attention. Shift your focus to gratitude and the recognition of your inherent worth. When you see yourself in the mirror, choose to embrace compassion rather than criticism. This choice transforms your perspective," he added. "Like the stream, flow with the understanding that life contains both clarity and turbulence, yet remains ever moving," the Buddha said. Another disciple spoke, "Master, I fear that accepting my flaws will make me complacent. How do I balance self-acceptance and growth?" The Buddha answered, "Self-acceptance is not the absence of growth. It is the foundation upon which meaningful change can arise. When you accept yourself, you free your energy from self-condemnation, redirecting it toward transformation and positive action," he said. "This encounter taught me the strength of silence and calm, a shield against distractions and chaos," Buddha shared. "Trials will seek to unsettle you, yet your silence and calm hold the power to transform challenges into growth." The Buddha concluded, carry the mirror's truth within your heart. Let self-compassion illuminate your path toward inner harmony. Practice daily. For calm is not weakness but an unyielding power. The mastery of self and response. Let silence guide you when words fail. Let calm carry you when storms rise within or around you. And so, the disciples left the stream, the image of the mirror etched into their minds, a symbol of compassion. Another day, the disciples gathered under the vast sky, seeking guidance from the Buddha to overcome their lingering fears and doubts. The Buddha looked at them, his gaze serene and knowing, and began to speak with wisdom flowing like a river. Listen to this story, the Buddha said, his voice steady and calm, as the disciples leaned closer to hear. Once, a poor man lived in a small hut, lamenting his misfortune without knowing a treasure lay hidden beneath. He began. The treasure was a jewel of immense value, buried deep under layers of soil where the man never thought to look. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video. This treasure, your jewel within, is your Buddha nature, compassion, wisdom, and love, all waiting to be uncovered, he explained. The disciples listened, their hearts stirred by the idea of inner worth being an inherent treasure rather than something earned. Wisdom, the Buddha continued, is the shield that ensures compassion remains a light, guiding and nurturing without losing its essence. Disciples listened intently, each word carving paths in their minds, bridging gaps between intention and sustainable action. One disciple asked, Master, how do we begin digging through these layers when doubt feels so overwhelming in our hearts? The Buddha replied, begin by practicing mindfulness, seeing your doubts clearly as temporary ripples upon the surface of your mind. When you quiet your mind, the barriers weaken, and your true essence, the jewel, begins to shine through, he explained. Another disciple asked, Master, what if our flaws feel too heavy to let us uncover this jewel within us? The Buddha responded, your flaws are not weight, they are lessons, shaping and preparing you to uncover your treasure with understanding. Accept your humanity, flaws and virtues alike, as an integral part of the journey toward discovering your true nature, he said. The pond's surface rippled gently in the wind, as if resonating with the Buddha's truth, its serenity a reflection of infinite harmony. True leadership, the Buddha said, his voice unwavering yet compassionate, requires discernment, knowing when to act and when to preserve one's resources. The disciples reflected, the story resonating with their own feelings of being held back by self-doubt and perceived inadequacy. Each shovel full of soil he removed was an act of courage and faith in what lay beneath, the Buddha said. Likewise, each act of self-compassion and mindfulness brings you closer to uncovering your jewel of inner worth, he added. The disciples nodded, feeling a sense of hope for the journey ahead despite the daunting nature of self-discovery. One disciple said, Master, how can we be sure this jewel exists within us when doubt clouds our view so often? The Buddha answered, doubt clouds your vision but never erases the truth. Your jewel remains, waiting patiently for you to uncover it. Trust in your inherent Buddha nature. It is an eternal part of you, unaffected by the storms of doubt, he reassured. He continued, the treasure beneath the hut did not disappear because the man doubted its existence. It simply awaited discovery. So too does your inner worth persist, steady and unchanging, beyond the temporary veil of uncertainty, the Buddha said. The disciples listened closely, the words calming their restless minds and rekindling their faith in the teachings. The Buddha shared, when you feel lost, remember this truth: you are never separated from your jewel. It is always within you. Practice self-compassion as an act of uncovering this truth. Releasing judgment and welcoming acceptance into your heart, he said, dig deep. With patience and love, and the treasure that is your true essence will reveal itself, the Buddha proclaimed. The story lingered in the minds of the disciples, each feeling a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The Buddha concluded, when you uncover your jewel, you will understand that your worth is not given or taken but simply exists. Freedom from validation addiction, Buddha said, is found in understanding and releasing attachment to fleeting judgments. The man who had once insulted Buddha now bowed deeply, his heart touched by the wisdom he had witnessed. The weight of striving for acceptance felt heavier than the clouds above. Pressing down on my spirit, I reached the village and found the Buddha seated beneath a simple shelter, watching the rain with quiet wonder. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.